I want you to skip these 5 things that I'm going to explain to you every time you work out so you can build more muscle faster. All right. First thing that you're going to skip is you're going to skip training your strong points with a lot of volume. Guys, if you have good biceps, if everybody looks at you and say, wow, you have great arms. Wow, what do you do for biceps, man? Wow, your arms look phenomenal. You should probably stop emphasizing them and focus on the weak points, the things that you're hiding, like your calves, right? Like your back, like your chest thickness. Stop putting priority on the things that grow quickly. For me, my calves grow pretty quickly. My legs grow pretty quickly. So my volume for those areas is very low because I prioritize other things. And you need to do the same. You need to stop prioritizing the body parts that respond quickly and start putting priority on the stuff that's not responding. So this way you have a well-balanced physique. And this way, when people look at you, they don't just look at your biceps. They look and say, wow, you got a great build. Wow, you have a great body. Wow, your chest is huge too. What do you do? Like, that's what you need to do. So stop skipping doing your favorite things over and over and start putting priority in the things that you hate, like your calves. Start training them. Train them first. Whatever it is, I'm just saying calves, but whatever it is, if your triceps are a weak point, do them, put more priority to them. Because that's what's going to lead to you to having a better body as opposed to just body parts, which is what we don't want. You don't just want to be like, oh, that guy has great arms. No, you want to be the guy that looks phenomenal, right? Next thing you're going to skip the fat in your pre and post workout meals. So in your pre and post workout meals are vital for muscle building because they're going to provide your body with the building blocks to fuel your workout and the building blocks to rebuild the muscle that you've just broken down in the gym. So when you have fat in a pre-workout and a post-workout meal, it's going to slow the digestion of that food that you're eating down significantly. So you want to keep the fat in your pre and post-workout meals under 10 grams of fat. So you're thinking about quick digesting sources of protein and carbohydrates in your pre and post-workout meals. So don't have a lot of fat in that meal because that meal is just going to sit in your stomach and not get into the areas that you're training for the day, okay? So skip the fat in your pre-workout meal. The next thing that you're going to skip is you're going to skip the cardio before training. It's 2023, and I can't believe that I even have to say this in a video, but so many people go into the gym and go do cardio first and then go and weight train. No, don't do that. That's not the way your body does anything. Obviously, if you're doing cardio first, then that means that the reason why you're doing cardio first is you're trying to take off body fat. If you're trying to build as much muscle as possible, you can't lose fat at the same time. It just doesn't work like that. Your body does one or the other. It either builds or it loses. So, and when you're in a calorie deficit in a losing state, you're maintaining muscle tissue. But if you're in a building state, you're actually putting on muscle and you're going to put on a little bit of body fat. It's just the kind of way it works. But when you train, your body utilizes nutrients differently. The first thing that your body utilizes is stored glycogen or stored carbohydrate energy. That's your muscle's primary source of fuel. So whenever you train, your body uses that fuel source first. And then as soon as you kind of run out of glycogen, then your body shifts into fat burning. So if you're doing cardio with the energy that your body's going to use for weight training, that doesn't make any sense. So you want to switch that. If you're going to do any cardio, you should do it after your weight training. Now, the other reason why you should do that is because when you do cardio, you're going to get tired. If you're tired, you're not going to be able to lift as much as possible. And if you're not going to be able to lift as much as possible, you're not going to put on as much muscle as possible or build muscle faster. So by doing cardio after, it doesn't matter because you already did your sets for the day and you already progressed and blah, blah, blah. So skip doing cardio before, please, guys, please. And if you do like a 5-minute warm-up, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like, at least 20 minutes or so before. And cardio is good for obviously your health, and that's why you should be doing it. But just please, guys, don't do it before. For the love of God. It's 2023. Don't do that. All right. The next thing that you're going to skip stretching. You're going to skip stretching, and instead, what you're going to do is acclamation sets. So let's say, for example, I'm training chest today. So normally, I see this all the time. Guys walk into the gym, they walk up to the rack, like the bench press racks, they grab onto the side and they yank their chest and they stretch it open, and they do the other side. And then they're like, all right, I'm ready to bench press. And then they just start bench pressing. Wrong. Your muscles are cold when you enter the gym. They're cold. Your chest is cold. It wasn't warmed up. There's no blood in it. Well, you know what I mean? Like no real blood in it. It's not loose. It's tight. So you're taking a tight muscle, you're forcing it into range of motion, and then you're going to expose that cold, opened muscle under load. Recipe for disaster, recipe for pain and injury. And if you're injured, you're obviously not going to build as much muscle as possible. So instead, what you should do is something called acclamation sets. Acclamation sets are basically warm up sets that lead you into the weight, but they're not fatiguing. So let's say, for example, I was going to bench press today, and on tap, I had 315 for whatever, 8 reps is what I was supposed to do, right? So I go to the barbell, I load up, let's just say, maybe I start with the bar. I start with the bar, I do 5 reps, rack it, put 135 on, I do 5 reps, I rack it, 225, 5 reps, rack it. And then as I get closer to the weight, my reps come down, but it's enough for me to loosen up and warm up my chest. I'm getting blood flow in that area. And the reason why acclamation sets are better is because I'm putting this cold muscle that I'm training through the range of motion that it's going to go through under load. So I'm warming up this muscle in the range of motion that it's going to be going through. So it's a lot safer. Plus now you can kind of mentally feel out the weight for the day and say, okay, boom, 275 move, 295 move, 3 whatever move, and blah, blah, blah. So acclamation sets are where it's at. Please, guys, don't just do one of those jammies and then go into heavy bench press. Don't do that. The last thing that you're going to skip here is you're going to skip what the science says, and instead you're going to train close to failure. Stop training like a little bitch. Start training hard. Like your reps, your last rep should be difficult. You should look super ugly when you do your last rep. Like your last rep should be like everything you got. Don't be afraid to push it to that point. 0 to 1 reps in the tank for every set you do. Not just your last set, every set. Remember, muscle building is a hard thing. We have to force muscle on. And the only way to do that is to train intensely to cause stimulus to your body. If you're texting your friend, if you're on Instagram, if you're bullshitting with somebody during your set, you're not going to get anything out of it. So start training hard, push your sets, train closer to failure, and watch how much more muscle you build. All right? And just for making it this far into the video, got a free gift for you. I have a free 6-week training program that I want to give you. No strings attached. All you gotta do, click that link below and pick up that 6-week training program now. This was Anthony, AB Fitness. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.